First Breath, a science fiction novelette. Written by Addison Smith. Narrated by Joseph Simon. The res was a strobing mass of lights, lasers, and mirrors, tuned to the heavy bass lines and syncopation. The floor shook with the beat and bodies moved to it, fluid and sexual, fingers running down sweating backs. Two girls stared into each other's eyes before one let out a breath that sent the other into a fit of ecstasy. Hardy's wetware mod ached to join them, feeding him shadows of breath, the latest drug craze that turned a faint mist of DNA into an electric stimulus. His attention turned to the other side of the sea of glowing dreads, bare skin, and fluid motion. The girl at the barside table had been watching him since he'd arrived. Her gaze followed him from the door to the bar, then to his usual seat against the wall. She was familiar, but not by the pink lines that glowed in her hair, or the nearly transparent synthetic that clung to her body. She wasn't in his memory, but she had been once. That kind of familiarity was the thing he had learned to fear. When you've spent any time working for Jack, you learn that the people you can trust the least are the ones you're familiar with. The hot breath lingering in the room touched at his mind, giving him just a taste of synaptic euphoria. Those synapses sparked, calling him to the dance floor, and his eyes heeded them, taking in the reflective glowing mass. He drew his attention away, back to the barside table. She was gone. "You just gonna watch?" The voice came from beside him, smooth and sensual. He didn't turn his head. "I thought I might sit this one out." Her hands reached over his shoulder, teasing over the thin cloth of his shirt, and he hailed just a hint of her breath as she whispered into his ear, "That's not how this place works." Synapses fired, and he tilted his head back, letting her fingers graze over the skin of his neck. He laughed, the sensation washing over him more fully than ever before. He'd gotten the breath mod days ago, an open-source derivative of the one that was already sweeping the party capitals. This was different, though. He was a slave to its need. That need made him stare after her as she walked to the floor. It made him stand, and it made him follow. Bodies undulated against him, but there wasn't room for them in his mind. He followed the curves of her hips and shoulder blades as she dragged him to the floor by a leash of ecstasy. When she stopped, he was right behind her, hands on her hips, turning her to face him and give another taste of the breath he already ached for. She smiled and they danced.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?